This doesn't even deserve a captain's log because this is dead serious. Since my last video was a banger, I have to make a sequel because I think I can do a little better. Also, by judging the reception on the last video, I don't think I put enough receipts in or evidence to back up my claims. So this video is going to be bigger and better than the first one. Anyway, if you watched my last video, I sort of briefly touched upon how some things Brad Taste does just rubs me the wrong way. And as a disclaimer, everything I talk about in this video and also talked about in the last video is entirely my personal opinion. And also, I think my last video kind of sucks, so I'm doing a sort of revamp. With that out of the way, I'd like to get a bit more in-depth in why Bradley's review bombing really annoys me personally. And I'm also going to go through a bit more receipts and evidence of alleged review bombing. Bradley most frequently uses the website Album of the Year, which is basically like a website like IMDb but for music, and it's important to remember this as it will be relevant later on. Brad for a very long time had these inside jokes going around his audience. Most infamous of these was Demon Dice, who was an internet-based rapper who also has another side project as a VTuber. Her song Snake Eyes, which she made very early on in her career, resurfaced by her detractors and faced very negative reviews. At the time, she was, just starting to get off the ground as a musician, and I think that a normal person would think that a song this early in a musician's career wouldn't be all that good, right? Brad absolutely trashed and despised the song after her haters sent him the song to listen to on stream, and it was funny for about a week, but after a while, it just kept going on, and it went on far too long and stopped being funny and just turned into like harassment of Demon Dice. Bradley also on multiple occasions encouraged his fan base to manipulate the ratings of multiple releases on Album of the Year. And as of today, multiple of Demon Dice's early and innocuous releases are rated the worst of 2017 as decided by user score.
Hold on. Is this... Okay, someone please submit that song to Album of the Year so I can review it. Yeah, so, oh wait, okay, so Demon Dice already exists. Someone find this song, put it as a single release, and tell me when it's there so I can rate the song as 0. The EP it's off is there. I don't want the EP, just make it a single. I don't care, it's a single, alright? From now on, it's officially a single. So, there you go. Alright, moving on. Alright. That simple. Don't need anything else. It's finally out. Okay, the review's here. Go like the review. Get this shit popular. Okay, you know what I'm saying? This is the most important thing ever. Okay? Alright.
Why am I toxic?
Fans of Demon Dice realized the absurdity of the situation and decided troll Brad by countering the hundreds of 0 out of 100 ratings with perfect 100s. Admittedly, they make some jokes in poor taste. Brad exemplifies complete hypocrisy by asking the admin of the site to do something about the review bombing despite him doing the exact same thing. He thinks that if he review bombs, it is objectively correct and warrants celebration, but if a review bombing occurs that he disagrees with, it's an attack on the integrity of the system, and they think the review bombers should be punished. However, Demon Dice's fanbase's attempts at raising the score of these EPs were only successful in raising the overall average score by around 10 points. This is due to the sheer size and eagerness of Brad's fanbase on the AOTY website. Multiple users of the website allege that Brad has, in effect, taken over the entire website for himself and using his audience to skew ratings in his favor. While you can argue Brad's contemporaries such as Anthony Fantano also have a fanbase that skew ratings, Fantano has never directly encouraged review bombing, and Fantano's fans are never as zealous as Brad's. Brad has also been alleged to have been review bombing other albums on the website, such as the Beatles Revolver Deluxe Edition, which is a re-release of their classic album Revolver. Evidence of this is in the AOTY comments section of the release, which has multiple mentions of Brad and his review bombing antics. Keep in mind, there is no direct evidence of him admitting to this, but the comments here are too much to ignore. In 2020, an AOTY user named Ryan Venus made a mixtape called Roller Coaster. However, the all-knowing Bradley did not appreciate the mere existence of this album and decided to have an all-out war with the rest of the website. It was discovered that Bradley made an organized attempt at review bombing the release, utilizing his inner circle called Flex Entertainment. When the user tried to make the argument that his opinions are invalid, Brad, like the man-child he is, became enraged and started attacking the user in a public Discord server. Brad's wrath is not just limited to random Discord servers, however, because there are tons of arguments Brad constantly has on Twitter when someone dares to criticize his holiness in his comment section.
Why am I toxic?
Brad's ego is so fragile that when a single internet user dares to defy him, he is more than happy to go on an all-out internet flame war against them. Brad is obviously firmly against the absolute horrors of having a toxic community, but he only says this once his toxicity starts to blow up in his face. When he was criticized for his obsessive hatred of Demon Dice and also encouraging his fanbase to do the same, Brad was forced to make an apology video, decrying the toxic community that he built up and encouraged in the first place.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bradley here. I'm just making a quick video talking about specific behavior that I've kind of seen in the community, which I'm going to, first of all, start by saying I take full blame for. And it's because my content, admittingly, is... It definitely is there to provoke a reaction.
What line of work are you in?
Waste management consultant.
In another apology regarding the toxicity of his fanbase, he admits to hand-waving away of fans' complaints about Brad's toxic community that harassed them for enjoying Demon Dice's music. After learning that said fan rated Brad's music negatively, he started to insult this fan, saying that their opinions are invalid. To those people who are unfamiliar with what I am talking about, I have recently been defending someone in the community who is a big fan of someone who I have talked badly about non-stop. Demon Dice. They are harassed daily due to their interests, and they have approached me to talk about this as they are someone who also loves my content. I kept telling them to keep their head up about it and to ignore it, because they will just not understand this stuff. But I know this wouldn't have happened if I was more careful in how I called out her music. Instead of viewing this fan as valuable, they talked about a situation where again they were harassed for liking Demon Dice, and I just gave up. I told them that they need to get used to the way things are, and that they are disrupting the ecosystem built into websites like AOTY. And basically, I blamed them for being offended a community of toxic people. I then saw that they rated my music negatively, and I doubled down on this, saying that they are really pushing their luck with people, and that if they feel anywhere close to how I feel, then I can see why they say what they say. You can argue that Brad has changed since then and has gone through an epic redemption arc in the comfort of his own goon cave, but unfortunately, you are sorely mistaken. To this day, he attempts to mask his constant, immature toxicity and hatred of small artists he happens to dislike simply as his sense of humor and just venting. But now, at this point, I think Brad started to go through a cycle where he revels in his fanbase's toxicity and encourages it. Brad utilizes his young, impressionable fanbase to unfairly skew opinions on various websites, such as Album of the Year and Rate Your Music. Brad has continuously and expertly avoided being held accountable for his actions, and personally, I hope this video succeeds in changing that. I'd like to share a Spotify playlist I made of songs off albums I absolutely love, just so you don't think I'm toxic like Brad is. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment what you think, and thank you for watching. Bye!